This was awesome. Thank you for tuning in. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of The Roundup. I'm your host, Janae Tate, founder and creator of High Low News. And this is the show that brings you all the stuff that's going around South Florida and beyond. And don't get it twisted, this ain't your grandma's news, okay? This is a show for millennials by millennials. So let's get right into it. Let's see some of the stories that's buzzing around South Florida, okay? South Florida is reopening. So according to some news that I've seen on WSVN and some of the blogs and Miami New Times, the city of Miami is lifting the stay-at-home order and the curfew. Now, what this means is that people can go out, but they still have to abide by social distancing laws. And the city is encouraging people who have pre-existing conditions to stay at home. You know, don't put yourself at risk. Now, I mean, because they're saying it's open, that don't mean you gotta go do everything they say. The virus is still out there. They're saying things are open, but that doesn't mean that the virus has disappeared. So y'all be safe out there, okay, Miami? Next, some chatter that I've been hearing in the streets. Now, I've been trying to find some official stories, but nothing is broken yet. But was buzzing on social media that Miami Northwestern's head football coach has been suspended. Now, word on the street is he had the kids out there practicing during quarantine, okay? Now, there's a few stories going around, but apparently kids were missing class. And so when they were calling to see like, hey, why so not in class, the parents were saying they are at football practice. And then that started the buzz into what's going on with the school. And then I heard that either some video or a photo was taken of the kids practicing and was sent to the school board, and it became like a big issue, you know, with what was going on with the football coach and the football team and putting the kids at risk. Now, I get it. That's dangerous to do. I think firing him is extreme. That's just my personal opinion, but you know, I get why they would do it, because you could literally, if something happened, one of those kids got sick or somebody passed away, like that would be so tragic. So I get the seriousness of it. But because nothing did happen, a suspension and investigation is warranted, and that is what's going on. Now, earlier today, people weren't sure if he was fired or if he was still around. So as of tonight, today is Thursday, May 22nd, I got some tea from the school board that he is suspended. And also, some other tea was that Miami Northwestern wasn't the only school that was doing this. There were other schools doing this too. I heard Miami Central as well was doing this. So yeah, you know, football is king down here in South Florida. Like, they want to practice, so I ain't even surprised that this happened. Now, I mean, I guess, you know, some things need to happen in place to keep the kids safe, but hey, y'all do what y'all do. Don't come for me, Miami Northwestern. I am a Bull. I did graduate from there, so y'all don't kill me for this story. But we'll see what happened. I hope that Coach Max, you know, he pulls through this. Also, he is a 3-time state championship football coach. So, hey, I don't know if we want to get rid of him so quick. I mean, I heard that maybe some people may not want him there anymore, but it's hard to get rid of somebody who's been winning 3 years in a row, like state championships. So we'll see what goes on over there at Miami Northwestern. So let's get to our next story. Another thing that was buzzing around social media is the Miami Gardens mayor's race. Now, I saw an article in Florida Politics that Oscar Braynon II, withdrew from the mayoral race in Miami Gardens. And that was the coveted race, you know, sitting mayor Oliver Gilbert, who has, you know, transformed the city under his leadership in the last 8 years, just took the mantle from former mayor Shirley Gibson and just took things to another level. So everybody's been watching like who's going to be next. And Oscar Braynon, to me, was that next best person in line. But he said during the quarantine, he had some time to reflect, and he made the decision, and he wanted to focus on his family and spending time with them. It came a little bit abrupt. You know, some people are raising eyebrows like, is there something deeper? I haven't figured out any tea. I only heard gossip, so I'm not going to report that to y'all because, you know, it's just not necessarily. But I understand him wanting to take that time. And he's been in politics for almost 20 years. So, sometimes you just, want to take a break. Sometimes it's just too much. So it's sad to see him go because I thought he would have been a really great leader of Miami Gardens Next. He definitely would have gotten High-Low News' endorsement. But what we did hear is that somebody else threw their name in the ring in the 11th hour. And we're going to keep an eye on them. They'll probably more than likely get our endorsement. Rodney Harris, Miami Gardens Councilman Rodney Harris, is putting his hat in the ring to be the next Miami Gardens mayor. As of now, there are 3 other women running. Former Vice Mayor Lisa Davis, Laverne Deard, I don't know her, maybe you guys do. She's, apparently, kind of known in her area, Miami Gardens. And we have a former councilwoman, and I think she's a state representative, Sharon Pritchett. She's going to be throwing her hat in the ring. They all qualified. I saw some posts on social media, so we'll see. This is going to be a hot race because, the person who leads Miami Gardens pretty much leads one of the largest cities in Florida, one of the largest Black cities in the country. So it's pretty much a big deal. Over 100,000 residents. So that person has their work cut out for them, and I'm hoping the best person win right now. I don't want to go out there too soon and put an endorsement, but I think I know who I want to, put my money behind. Also, just a quick side note, we want to let y'all know that coming up, we will be doing more special election coverage. So make sure you guys are tuned in. Tell a friend. We're going to make sure we go into the elections, interviewing people, so you guys are in the know for what's going on. It is an election year. Don't let coronavirus, don't let Trump fool you. We still got to vote. Moving right along, still a little bit in the political space. Dr. Steve Gallin dropped a new trailer for a biopic documentary that he's putting out, a docuseries. It's called Light Found in the Dark. It doesn't have a release date yet, but the trailer has over 4,000 views on social media, and people in the community are buzzing. And Dr. Gallin is beloved in the city of Miami, across Florida. He is, someone who's homegrown, went to Miami Northwestern, went to FAMU, went up to New Jersey, became a superintendent, came back to South Florida, became a school board member, is an entrepreneur, does all type of consulting, has businesses. Like, he's really well respected and really successful. But his documentary said it's going to touch into him being a young father, being in the streets at one point. He had some controversy in New Jersey that made him not be the superintendent anymore. He's going to dig into all of that. And he's always been an open book. So I think it's going to be cool to see his documentary and see that docuseries. So you guys stay tuned for that. We have an upcoming interview with him, so we'll probably get into some things like that in the future. So moving right along, let's head down to Opa-locka. They have free COVID-19 testing at the Sherbondi Village. Big ups to Mayor Matthew Pygott and the whole team. I saw actually Senator Oscar Braynon, State Representative Shepard Jones, and a few other elected officials came together to make that effort work. It's free to the public. You don't have to have pre-existing conditions. So you could be as young as 12 to get testing. So that's really good, especially with the cities opening up, the county opening up. You want to make sure that you're able to get tested, know that what your status is when it comes to something like this. So you guys make sure you check that out. Information is on the City of Opa-locka's website, and we'll also drop a link in the description if you want to get more information about that. Our next story it's an update to an upsetting story that happened actually during quarantine. The cop who harassed University of Miami doctor Armin Henderson has a history of harassing people. A new report that came out from the Miami New Times showed that Officer Mario Menegazzo, he was hired in 2012 by the City of Miami Police Department, and they were warned that he had previously been found psychologically unfit for a job in law enforcement. So City of Miami, how he even got past y'all screening process is beyond me, but it's not surprising that he was racially profiling and harassing Dr. Armin Henderson at his home. And the crazy thing about it was Dr. Henderson was coming from doing COVID-19 work with the homeless. He was making sure that the homeless was getting tested and they had things and resources and items so that they could fend for themselves while they were on the streets. So, child, shame on you, and shame on the people who look past that, because clearly, according to that report, he has a history of complaints and raked up actually multiple citizen complaints and excessive use of force incidents in the past 8 years during his time as a city Miami police officer. We're going to be, following that closely. I'm so happy that Dr. Armin is getting justice and things are coming to the light. And, city of Miami has a long history of harassing and messing with Black residents, especially Black males. So let's make sure that we clean that up, and we're going to keep an eye on that. But that report is definitely not surprising, but also eye-opening at the same time. So moving on to some Florida news. Universal Orlando is going to be opening up on June 5th, but it's not going to be like your regular experience. You're going to be required to wear a mask, and the park is going to have different restrictions to, make sure everybody is safe while they're in the park. I know everyone is antsy. We all ready to go. We're all ready to travel. So that's a sign that, the summer may not be lost for everybody here in Florida. So let's keep an eye on that and, see if we'll be making it out there to Universal Orlando. And now in some national news. The man who filmed Ahmaud Arbery being shot and killed by the father and son murderous duo back in February has been arrested on suspicion of murder charges, according to GBI. And at first he was saying that he had nothing to do with it and he was, just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But now things are being revealed that he actually had more of a sinister role in this murder of Ahmaud Arbery. Our prayers are with his family, and we're hoping that justice is served. But this is a step in the right direction. And I'm hoping that, more charges, more things come to the light so that this family has a strong case against these people who murdered Ahmaud Arbery in cold blood. So our prayers are with his family. Now on to the next story. Wendy Williams has walked away from her show. She says she's no longer going to do stay-at-home shows. She's just not gelling with it. People on the blogs are saying that, maybe she needs the energy of the crowd. Whatever it is, for, the queen of daytime to step away from her show, that's a big deal. So we hope, Miss Wendy gets it together, and, our prayers are with her if it's something deeper than that. But that's really, really shocking that, someone with the biggest show in the nation is walking away from it when everyone else has been doing their stay-at-home shows. So we'll be keeping an eye out on that and hope, Miss Wendy comes back to our tubes. Now on to some high-low news updates. We have some cool stories coming up in the pipeline. You guys, we have a great interview with Quentin Latham, aka Funky Dineva. We love him. He is so funny. So you guys make sure you look out for that interview. It's going to be on our YouTube channel and on our blog. We also have a profile with the owners of Supreme Fitness, some young millennial Black-owned entrepreneurs. They're talking about their new fitness ventures, how they're doing workouts and products and videos. So we got into what they're doing. And also, we have an interview coming up with Majesty Santiago. She is an adult entertainment sex entrepreneur. She's in that world, and we're going to be talking about, you guessed it, you know it, sex. S-E-X. I'm excited about that conversation. I know it's going to be fun, and we're going to talk about some topics about like polyandry, open relationships, sexuality, toys, all type of good stuff. She has some books and products coming out too, so I want to learn more about that and share that with you guys. So you guys stay tuned for those upcoming stories and high-low news. It's a wrap for the Roundup today. Thank you so much for watching, for coming back, seeing what we got going on around South Florida this week. You guys make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube page. Tell a friend, comment, help us grow as we try to give information to our community. Make sure you're following us on social media at High-Low News. That's HYLONEWS. You see the icon at the bottom of the page, so search for us, and the description is in the link. And also check out our website, highlowNewsMiami.com. Sign up for our newsletter so you get all of our alerts for our new stories. And, just stay connected with us, and also send us news tips. Information on how to do that is in the description as well. We want to hear all the tea, all the gossip, all the news, all the events that's going on around South Florida so we can give it to the audience. Again, thank you for watching the Roundup. We'll see you next week.